Welcome to Courtroom Tapes. In May 2025, the United States carried out the death penalty on 5 individuals. These were not just executions, but stories of crime, loss, justice, and final moments. Today we'll walk through their crimes, methods of execution, final statements, and even their last meals. Case 1. Jeffrey Hutchinson. May 1, 2025, Jeffrey Hutchinson was executed by lethal injection in the state of Florida. His conviction dated back to 1998, when he was found guilty of brutally murdering his girlfriend and her 3 children, an act that shocked the local community and drew national attention. Despite the gravity of his crimes, Hutchinson chose to remain silent in his final moments, offering no last words before the execution. For his last meal, he requested a seafood platter consisting of salmon and mahi-mahi, accompanied by asparagus, a baked potato, and iced tea. His execution marked the end of a decades-long legal process. The case was widely covered in the media. Case 2. Glen Edward Rogers. On May 15, 2025, Glen Edward Rogers, infamously known as the Casanova Killer, was executed by lethal injection in Florida. Rogers had been convicted of multiple murders across several states, but his execution was specifically for the 1995 murder of a Florida woman, one of his most brutal and widely reported crimes. Known for his manipulative charm and violent tendencies, Rogers gained national notoriety during the 1990s. In his final moments, he turned to his family and said, "I love you," and also addressed the families of his victims. In a surprising twist, he praised former President Donald Trump during his last statement. For his final meal, Rogers requested a simple but classic combination: pizza, chocolate cake, and soda. This high-profile case was the subject of numerous documentaries and news specials. Case 3. Matthew Lee Johnson. On May 20, 2025, Matthew Lee Johnson was executed by lethal injection in Texas for the horrific 2012 murder of 76-year-old Nancy Harris. During a robbery at a local convenience store, Johnson set Harris on fire, causing fatal injuries that shocked the community and drew national outrage. In his final moments, Johnson expressed deep remorse, apologizing to the victim's family and acknowledging the horror and brutality of his actions. His last meal was not disclosed to the public. This tragic case left a lasting emotional impact. Case 4. Benjamin Ritchie. On May 20, 2025, Benjamin Ritchie was executed by lethal injection in Indiana for the 2000 murder of police officer William Toney. Ritchie had shot and killed Officer Toney during a confrontation, a crime that deeply affected the local law enforcement community and sparked years of legal proceedings. In his final statement, Ritchie expressed love for his family and said, "I hope they find peace," offering a brief moment of reflection before his sentence was carried out. For his last meal, he chose Olive Garden's Tour of Italy, a popular trio featuring lasagna, chicken parmigiana, and fettuccine alfredo. Case 5. Oscar Franklin Smith. On May 22, 2025, Oscar Franklin Smith was executed by lethal injection in Tennessee for the 1989 murders of his estranged wife and her 2 sons. The brutal crime shocked the community at the time and led to a lengthy legal battle that spanned over 3 decades. Despite the overwhelming evidence presented during the trial, Smith maintained his innocence until the very end, using his final words to declare, "I didn't kill her." His last meal was not publicly disclosed. The case garnered significant media attention over the years, and that brings us to the end of this video on the executions that took place in the United States in May 2025. These cases are a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of violent crime and the long path of justice that often follows. Regardless of where you stand on capital punishment, the stories behind these individuals and their victims deserve to be remembered with care and reflection. If you found this video informative, please leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and consider subscribing Courtroom Tapes for more deep dives into real-life crime stories and justice-related content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay informed, stay thoughtful,